Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. Minister of Health affirms that no coronavirus cases are recorded in the Sultanate. The Israeli military launches airstrike on targets in the Gaza Strip as the US president releases his Middle East peace plan. And Australian Capital Region declares a state of emergency due to an out of control forest fire burning erratically to its south.
أقسم بالله العظيم أن أحترم النظام الأساسي للدولة والقوانين وأن أرعى مصالح المواطنين وحرياتهم رعاية كاملة وأن أحافظ على استقلال الوطن وسلامة أراضيه.
The news. Those were the headlines, and now the details. The Ministry of Health affirmed that no coronavirus cases were recorded in the Sultanate and it's fully prepared to deal with any suspected coronavirus cases. The ministry calls on the citizens and residents on the necessity to follow up within the guidelines issued by the ministry and the World Health Organization regarding the precautionary measures to combat the virus, as well as not to travel to China and the endemic areas unless under extreme circumstances. In its fourth statement, the ministry urges the citizens and residents to take information from official sources of the Ministry of Health and not to heed to rumors. A total of 9,822 confirmed cases of novel coronavirus 2019 and nCoV were reported in China and other countries by today, with the death toll standing at 213. There are 102 confirmed cases outside China. Thailand and Japan have 14 each, while Singapore has 13. There are also a handful of cases in Australia, Malaysia, France, and the United States, and Italy has confirmed its first 2 cases. The World Health Organization reversed course on January 30th and declared the coronavirus a public health emergency of international concern. Meanwhile, a planned load of about 200 French citizens from the virus-hit Chinese city of Wuhan has landed in southern France, and its passengers will be kept at the Mediterranean vacation resort for 14 days of quarantine. Alarms is growing among the estimated thousands of African students stranded in the locked-down Chinese city of Wuhan. Pakistani authorities said that they are halting all flights to and from China with immediate effect. The move panicked relatives of Pakistanis stranded in China, and top health officials said Islamabad had no immediate plan to evacuate any of the some 30,000 nationals living in China. About 500 Pakistani students are in Wuhan. The virus appears to have originated at an animal and seafood market in the central Chinese city of Wuhan in Hubei province towards the end of 2019. The United Nations Security Council called for an immediate end to a significant escalation in fighting in Yemen between Houthi Shia rebels and the Saudi-led military coalition supporting the government. Member nations on the United Nations' most powerful body underlined their disappointment at the return to violence in a statement saying it threatens to undermine progress made during the recent period of de-escalation in Yemen. The Council statement followed a briefing on Tuesday by the United Nations Special Envoy for Yemen, Martin Griffiths. He urged a halt to the recent alarming military escalation in fighting before it is too late. Less than 2 weeks ago, Griffiths had reported to the Council on a major reduction in military operations and other initiatives. He expressed hope then that this would lead to talks between the government and the Houthis on ending the 5-year conflict in Yemen.
He warned that recent developments jeopardize the progress.
The Israeli military has launched wide-scale airstrikes on targets in the Gaza Strip shortly after Palestinians fired 3 rockets into Israel, 2 of which were intercepted. There were no reports of casualties of major damage from the exchange overnight and early today, which came amid heightened tensions after President Donald Trump released his Middle East plan, a U.S. initiative aimed at ending the conflict that heavily favors Israel and was rejected by the Palestinians. Gaza has been relatively calm in recent months as Egyptians and United Nations mediators have worked to shore up an informal truce between Israel and Hamas. The Australian capital region declared a state of emergency today because of an out-of-control forest fire burning erratically to its south. It's the first fire emergency for the Australian Capital Territory area since 2003, when wildfires killed 4 people and destroyed almost 500 homes in a single day. The threat is posed by blaze on Canberra's southern fringe that has raised more than 53,000 acres since it was sparked by heat from a military helicopter landing light on Monday. The fire is burning at emergency level, the highest on a 3-tier scale of danger, and embers have created dangerous spot fires nearby. The fire is the most dangerous of dozens of blazes burning Australia's drought-stricken southeast. Unprecedented fires across southern Australia have claimed at least 33 lives since September, destroyed more than 3,000 homes and raised more than 26 million acres. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman television, and yet to come in our news bulletin, an exhibition under the theme The Art of Flower in the Cuban capital rediscover the relation between human beings and, of course, flowers. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Oman oil price March 2020 delivery reached $59 and 66 cents per barrel. According to Dubai Mercantile Exchange, Oman oil price rose by $1.49. The average price of Oman oil February 2020 delivery reached $56.49 per barrel. That's $2.68 higher than price of January 2020 delivery. Al-Manzaf Spring in Wadi Al-Ma'awil is located in western Hajar Mountain region in the governorate of South Al-Batina. The spring is distinguished among other springs in Oman to be a sulfuric spring that some people use to treat skin issues. Due to its unique characteristics, the spring can turn silver jewelry into a golden ones for a short period. Besides Al-Manzaf Springs, Wadi Al-Ma'awil has other springs like As-Subaykha, Salil, Qais, and Bani Nasir springs that are used for irrigation and other purposes. Wadi Al-Ma'awil contains many tourist destinations like Al-Ghasham House Museum and As-Sifala Castle, Hijrat al-Sheikh Ali, Bayt al-Khandaq, Hijrat Musallimat, and Bayt al-Oud in Al-Ajal area.
على الصعيد الخارجي فإننا سوف نرتسم خط السلطان الراحل مؤكدين على الثوابت التي اختطها لسياسة بلادنا الخارجية القائمة على التعايش السلمي بين الأمم والشعوب وحسن الجوار وعدم التدخل في الشؤون الداخلية للغير واحترام سيادة الدول وعلى التعاون الدولي في مختلف المجالات.
And now, Makoru Azuma, the Japanese flower artist, held an exhibition in the Cuban capital Havana that rediscovers the relations between human beings and flowers. Makoru Azuma created botanic sculptures to decorate the main roads in Havana. During his visit to Cuban village, Azuma noticed the people there give special attention to flower, a thing that is very hard to do in big cities due to an industrial expansion. A 9-feet-long sculpture stands in front of National Museum of Fine Arts depicting the Caribbean islands. This was the last botanic sculpture made by the Japanese flower artist Makoto Azuma in Havana. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Clear skies will prevail over the most of the governorates with chances of low clouds and fog late at night and early morning over the governorates of Al-Buraymi, Al-Dhahira, South and North Al-Sharqiyya, Al-Dakhiliya and Al-Wusta. Winds will be north to northwesterly light to moderate. Seas will be slight with maximum wave height of 1.25 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Minister of Health affirms that no coronavirus cases are recorded in the Sultanate. The Israeli military launches air strikes on targets in the Gaza Strip as the U.S. President releases his Middle East peace plan. And the Australian capital region declares a state of emergency due to an out-of-control forest fire burning erratically to its south. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television, directed by Salim Al-Mawi.